G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and in this video we're going to be talking about ideas. More specifically, your ideas and figuring out if they're gold or garbage. Now, sometimes we get an idea. It might be something formed over a very long period of time and developed with care and attention, and it might be something we get like an epiphany in the middle of a very random, unrelated situation. How do you know if that idea that you have is good or crap? An interesting show to watch just for a bit of a perspective on what I'm talking about is the show Dragon's Den. It's where people propose their inventions or companies or ideas to a group of very experienced entrepreneurs and millionaires who say, your idea is good, I'll invest in it, or your idea is crap. And quite often, it's not necessarily crap, but it's not very refined or intelligently developed. The problem is we are our own worst critics, because the idea that I might think is awesome might be crap, or even though it's a good idea, I might invest disproportionately, which will end up cutting the legs out from underneath me when it comes to making anything actually happen or profitable. Now, the only experiences I have to draw on personally are those of mine as an artist and a producer. So based on my very humble experiences that I've learned in the last 5 to 10 years, I'm going to use them as the example of the things that I'll be sharing today. Something that I've learned is to let yourself have big ideas, but start small. It can be very tempting to have over-the-top ambitions. The problem is it can be almost impossible to make some of them happen with limited resources, and then even if we try and get everything we can together to make it happen, it also might not have been the best idea, and then we've wasted a lot of resources. So start small, try and do bite-sized pieces of the project or release smaller versions of it and see if it gathers interest. Get feedback from family and friends, and then get feedback from people totally outside of your group of people that you know who have biased opinions. The next thing I've learned is to invest proportionately. As interest and traction increase, then you can increase your investment. If you're working with something unprofitable or unsustainable, or that's just not a good idea, you'll be learning that at the sacrifice of a minimal investment as opposed to a heavy investment. Another thing I've learned is to make calculated risks. At the end of the day, it's all a risk. We're risking our time and effort and all the things we're sacrificing to make something happen because we don't know if it'll work. And sometimes we know it'll work, but it actually just doesn't work. Things change in the economy or in the marketplace. It then stands to you to use your best judgment to examine the marketplace and the conditions, to examine your audience and demographic, to examine all the work that you've produced in the past and the evidence of what that has produced, all together to then make a decision as to what you're going to move forward with, and then make a calculated risk. Don't jump in blindly and head first, but wisely invest in certain aspects and constantly examine, evaluate, and evolve the project. The other thing I've learned to do is to innovate constantly. Especially if your work involves interest of other people. To keep people interested, you need to keep evolving. You need to keep showing that you're rethinking things, and if things are moving in a good direction, people will let you know, and if things aren't working well, they will also let you know, and that's okay. The more you innovate, the more you try new things, the better chance you will have of stumbling across the next big step to making your idea come to a greater level of success. Another thing I've learned is to try a lot of things and then sometimes let go of or put on hold things that aren't quite ready or won't work. It can take a bit of bravery, and it can also take letting go of your pride sometimes. A great example of this is Richard Branson, who owns the Virgin Company. We know about Virgin airplanes and about Virgin credit cards and Virgin music, but then there were Virgin records, and obviously the record industry has gone kaput because of the digital distribution industry. The Virgin identity let go of something that wasn't working and continued to develop and promote things that were working. And the amount of Virgin products that haven't worked over the years and have come to no fruition at all, you'd be very interested in. So I encourage you to look up some of the failed investments of Richard Branson, because it's an interesting read. And then another thing that I've learned is to not put all your eggs in one basket. Think of your idea more as one of the plates in many spinning plates that you're going to keep revolving and seeing which ones balance well and are functioning, and which ones you need to let go of to make the other ones work better. Because at the end of the day, your time and attention and money are assets that you need to distribute as wisely as possible to make your ideas happen well. So a couple of examples from my own personal experience, just to kind of give you a little bit of context as to what I've experienced personally. This channel here, Draw with Jazza, was an idea. I did 1 day a week. I did one tutorial every week 2 years ago. That started doing pretty well. Then I started doing a couple of videos a week, and then after a year I was doing 3 to 4 videos a week because things were growing. I started investing more time and attention into this community, and then in the end this has become almost my full-time job while I do a few client jobs and other projects on the side. It would have been unwise for me to start this YouTube channel with the same amount of input that I'm putting into it now. It would have been too expensive for me to manage, and I wouldn't have received any reciprocated kind of benefit from my efforts because I hadn't developed the community or my ideas yet. And then the final thing I'll say is don't spread yourself too thin. If you're spinning a lot of plates at once, focus on the ones that are working the most, and then keep your time and effort proportionate to how things are functioning. So I'm going to finish off by simply saying, be fearlessly creative, but be wise with your time, your money, and your ambitions. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found this video interesting and useful, and until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel to see new content every week. Check out more of my stuff by clicking the annotations over there. If you want to support my work and get a few goodies for yourself, head over to my store for archives, ebooks, and get yourself something nice. If you're looking for a great place to collaborate, explore, or share your own content, head over to newgrounds.com. That's it for now, and until next time, see you later.